Hey everybody, how are you doing? It is Saturday morning. I am out of the shop for just a few minutes. I got up early this morning and I ran to the card show. And the cards that I had in the box, there was a few nice ones, but the majority of them were like, I think Pro Set was the name of them. They were football cards primarily. And late 80s, early 90s, when I collected them, Pro Set was just flooding the market with these things and they just have no value. They're just so common. So I could have sold them, but they would have given me nothing for them. And I thought, you know what, for 50 bucks or whatever, I'll just hang on to them one of these days. I'll run into a little kid who collects cards and I'll say, here you go, take this home and have fun. And they'll get 50 bucks worth of enjoyment out of it. And it's worth more to me to do that than it is to sell it to some guy who eventually he could sell them for $1 a card. And there's probably 10,000 cards in there and easily make his 50 bucks back plus a little bit, probably pay for his table at each show. So I passed on that. I only have about an hour until we have to go to the send-off for the marching band. We're taking off to Clarksville for the ISSMA competition, so I'm excited about that. I came out to the shop for a few minutes, just doing a few more glue-ups. I took the stuff out of clamps I left in clamps last night, put a few more things in clamps, and I'm not going to have time to work on my jig for the bandsaw right now because I just don't have the time. So I started doing something else. Let me show you. Probably can't tell from here, but there's a nice big empty section up there. What I did is I went up and I grabbed as much stuff off that top shelf as I could. I grabbed a couple of boxes of stuff here, and these are going to be the beginnings of some more Chaos blanks. Now I got a mess to clean up over here because I've been using this as my work area, but it won't be that hard to clean up. Most of it is blanks or just scattered everywhere because I knocked them over. I'll gather all that back up, get it off of the table saw, and we'll start the process of preparing these blanks to become a new Chaos blank. One thing I haven't done with Chaos is I haven't put laminates between them, so I'm toying with the idea of tossing some laminates in between my cuts, my long cuts, not my first cut, but my long cuts, just to give it a little bit of a different effect. I don't know if I'll do that or not. It's a lot of extra work, and the question is it really worth it? I don't know. The blanks are pretty darn sweet. I'll bet literally I saw either 10 to 12 people at the show up in West Virginia that had one of my Chaos blanks, and they came to me and said, hey, check out this pin, and they would show me a pin, and it was instantly recognizable. That was my blank, and it was so amazing to see all of these blanks turned. And it was insane. I loved it. You can't explain how that feels to you when that happens. Somebody shows up and says, check this out, and it's a pin with your blank. I just got psyched, and that's one of the things that got me psyched again about getting out here in the shop and making some blanks, because it's one thing for me to make a blank and turn it, but it's another thing when I make a blank and I give it to another artist, another turner, and they put their thing on it, right? And it's killer. And I enjoyed seeing every one of those pins. So I want to get some more of my blanks together, and I want to get them out there. So next time I go to the show, I have a chance to see, more of what I do. So this is prep work. I'm just getting stuff down because I don't have a lot of time. So it was really easy to gather blanks up, really easy to do a few glue ups, just trying to keep things moving forward. And when I do get some time in the shop, keep fingers crossed it'll be tomorrow, I'll start working on that jig because I want to start making those cuts. And in between glue ups, I'll hopefully have the table saw cleaned off, and I can start running some stuff through and prepping it for Chaos. And you'll notice a lot of these pieces are larger. So I'm toying with the idea of, instead of everything being, 3/4 by 3/4 to start, maybe leaving some pieces larger and smaller and kind of gluing them up that way and seeing how that looks. The only thing I'm worried about is I don't like to have a huge chunk of material in the middle of a blank. I want the blank to have a lot of different materials. That's what gives it its flavor. So I may end up having to process these even down farther, into more normal sized blanks before I use them. But that's something we'll worry about once we start the processing. I'm going to finish up with my gathering, finish up with my gluing, and get to my band competition. Sorry, I won't be able to get it out tonight, but we won't get back till 2:33 in the morning, and I'll be too tired to edit this thing. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. While I was cleaning up around the shop, I noticed that the dust collection hose from my table saw was making a lot of noise. So I unhooked it and dumped it out. And all these little cutoffs were inside of my hose rattling around, which I'm sure was impeding the suction and keeping me from getting the maximum advantage from having a dust collector. So happy that that's cleaned out.